We're grateful for the win, that's for sure. Obviously, sometimes it falls in your favor just like that. We battled through some toughness, had to figure out just a lineup that could keep going and had to move them around. They had to play big pots defensively. This is definitely more of a defensive game for us. We really struggled coming into that second quarter, just trying to find our rhythm, and we went at halftime and kind of figured it out, find some charge, switched our lineup a little bit, mostly because we were in foul trouble, but it worked for us, and it got us going a little bit offensively. I think we got a little tired towards the fourth quarter. We had to kind of prevail and just kind of grind it out with some offensive options that they were going. They were really trying to be aggressive. I think it got to a point where we kind of saw the finish line and we started playing a little passive. We didn't want to be the one to make a mistake offensively. And I think that hurt us a little bit. We just kind of got scattered. Was actually really surprised because obviously, we are in the SWAC, so we've seen a little bit more press that should have, kept us a little bit more calm. But when you're in these moments, and this is all new to all of us, obviously playing on this stage, wanting it so much for your fans. Hopefully that game under our belt gives us a little bit composure moving forward. I think we were just so afraid of losing it that we kind of played a little erratic in the fourth quarter, and we lost a little bit of our rhythm. But definitely grateful for big play and big minutes. Down the stretch, I thought we did a great job with just talking through our 5-out and switching everything, and defensively wanting to get the stop. I think that's a new thing for us too. When we have at least about 30 minutes where we had people out there wanting to get the stop, and that was great for us.
Coach, they went to 1-2-2 in the second quarter. Halftime, you made the adjustments. Y'all go 20-9 in the third quarter. Talk about what these two did coming out of the half and what you kind of told them to help get them settled.
Well, they actually started the game in a zone. It was 1-3-1, and they went to a little bit of, but they mostly ran man, which is why we were able to get so many options. We got back into our man offense. They were bigger across the board than we've seen in the SWAC, just as a team. I think their smallest person was 5'10", and I think the zone was pushing us out, and we were really hesitant about our perimeter shots. So we really talked about, we can't take the shots home, guys. Like, I would much rather you shoot it and miss it, than to sit back and say we took 30 shots this game because we didn't want to miss. And so they took that personal, and they went in and they shot the ball, and they got in the rim, and they rebounded and got putbacks, and we generated a lot more shots.
Coach Charles Bishop inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Historic win for the program, but when we take a look at it, the SWAC as a whole has had success now in the postseason this past season. What is it about the competition, what is it about the play in the SWAC that is prepared, not just Texas Southern, but all these teams that are playing postseason ball?
I think it's the way the games are called. I just think the way the SWAC is reffed and officiated, that you tend to be tougher. And so, also our crowds, right? So, I don't think we did a magnificent job of it, but when you go and these games are easy. Like when we're playing on the road in the SWAC at Alabama A&M, and somebody's sitting on the baseline talking about our edges, talking about our mamas, you know what I mean? Like, it's a different feel. It's such a different atmosphere, and I tell people all the time, coming into here, that probably was new to them. That probably startled them a little bit more. Had we had the gym even more packed, they would have been ready to run up out of here, because I'm sure they ain't seen a crowd like the SWAC, and so that's the benefit of what we do. And it's just great that we have kids now coming in with a competitive mindset that want to showcase across the world that we're here and that we can play on any level because we can compete. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that, the SWAC prepares you because the fans prepare you for these big moments.
Could you talk about what it means for the program and also your players to get this postseason win? You You talk about being on the stage, being here and performing the way you did. How much that means for TSU?
First of all, I love your glasses, okay? That's awesome, okay? And I love it. It's national, what is it, Women's Month?
Right.
So happy Women's Month for that, okay? And then on top of that, it means a lot, right? Like we're fighting, like we're trying our best to carve something historic here, you know, so that these kids have something. Like you're saying go and sprint and run, and they're giving it their all. And the majority of women, you know, who finish playing basketball, like they have a job. You know, like when the ball stops bouncing, they have to, like, we haven't gotten to the place where the money, even when you're making it, generates enough for sustainability. You know, so we want to create something that at least gives them something where they could walk back in with their family and friends and be like, hey, that's me, I did that. You know, something that says it's worth it. And so we hope that we'll continue to carve places out for that and build that as a momentum to, like, if I push, I can do anything, right? Because it's the same thing as the scripture. I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me, right? We're teaching them to, like, life is going to hit you with a lot of stuff. It hits us with a lot of stuff, but you persevere anyhow. You run through the promised land. You run to obtain. So hopefully that's what we're teaching them, you know, and hopefully the SWAC does that too. I think HBCUs in general kind of teach us to be tougher, to fight through stuff, you know, like make no excuses, like climb through the mud. You may not have the resources, but find another way. And even though we may frown upon that because we have the whole world painting all of these filtered pictures, we'll be the ones who survive when it's all said and done, when the real world gets rough.
Coach, can you speak on the Naya performance? She gave a little spark in the third quarter. In my personal opinion, that kind of helped the third quarter run.
For sure. They voted her impact player of the game. I mean, I think, you know, I wanted kudos to Naya's parents, right? Like she found herself in a system where competitively, you know what I mean, there's just some kids that kind of outnotched her early on, and she could have quit and been on the bench and pouted and walked away, and she just kept coming and kept coming. And I would text her and send her motivational things and say, hey, I ain't gave up on you, it's gonna come, it's gonna find its way. And she's just climbing. She's just climbing and finding another niche. And the thing is to not slow it down so she could catch up, but to keep rising and make her, force her to create a new avenue and create a new passion. And she did that for us, and she was tremendous for us tonight, and definitely an impact player. So we were definitely grateful for what Naya contributed to us today.
Treasure's the key in that third quarter. I mean, what turned it around?
Again, defensively, like, I mean, we went small, right? Like, so it was easier to generate. They were in the passing lanes, like, so, you know, when we're talking about, I mean, you know, the SWAC didn't think so, but two the toughest defenders in the SWAC, you know, pound for pound, you know, when it comes to athleticism, blocks, tips, steals, like they're everywhere. And so when we have both of them on the court at the same time, you know, usually we're gonna get a tip and steal. So they were generating a bunch of tips for us, and it created transition points. Like, we were scoring in transition, and that's, you know what I mean? So then they went to a different height, so where they were doing more dribble and coming off a ball screen, so it slowed their offense down. Instead of passing and moving and trying to, because they're a motion offense type team, right? So instead of passing and cutting and getting all those backdoor looks, now they had to dribble the ball to come off a ball screen to pick and roll, because they was on top of that, you know, and they locked that down. So they generated that for us. And that's what we expect of them every night. And to be honest with you, like, throughout the SWAC, I mean, they could go look at it. We've consistently done that defensively.
Treasurer, last time on this court, and you've been named to the HBC All-Star Game. Talk about how you feel about being a part of that.
I'm just happy to be a part of the team every day. Like, I'm just blessed that she's my coach and that she believes in me and that I'm able to perform with her and with my team, and that's all I care about.
What about the All-Star Game, being named to that game?
A blessing.
Rightfully deserved, though. Like, I mean, she'll be humble, but she's definitely, you know, this kid has battled a lot in her career, and most people in her circumstances would go start being librarians, and so she stuck with it, and God is blessing her with the rewards of that, and we're proud of her, and we know for sure she's going to represent well, so we're excited about this. We can't wait. San Antonio, here we come.
What was the difference for you in the second half when you came out? Did you make some adjustments? What was different for you?
I think my shots just weren't falling in the first half. That's what it was. It just took a little encouragement from my teammates. They kept telling me, like, I'm good, keep pushing through it, keep attacking, keep doing what I'm doing. And, I mean, the second half, things were falling, and I was working, and it was working.
AYLASIA, can you talk about how this feels? I mean, to get this one.
Good. Obviously, we lost in the SWAC, but to be able to come into the WNIT and show, like, on a different level that we're able to still stick with teams, it just feels really good to be able to prove ourselves, not only to, like, everybody else, to ourselves, like, not only to everyone else in our fans, but, like, to still show that we have that confidence in us that we took a loss, but we still can come back and battle.
Treasure, first time back in a few games, but you played 38 minutes tonight. How was it coming back, 10 points, 9 rebounds, almost another double-double?
Oh my goodness, cramping through it. I was cramping the whole game, but you know, I'm gonna stay hydrated after this. I learned my lesson, but yeah, I'm just happy that I was back.
Mm-hmm. Coach, what will you face when you face Louisiana Tech?
You know, obviously we're still kind of working through the scout. I try not to pick up one folder till I finish the next, but obviously this will be a little bit of a different lineup. They'll be a little bit more traditional with this team. I think they're more of a, like, you know, offensive Becca system based. So we'll have to guard personnel a little bit more, but, you know, I think going into games, like, my biggest concern is getting my team going. And, like, I think if they're ready and they're charged up, I mean, I tell them, like, I'll take this team anywhere with whoever. So they got to guard us.
Coach, when you first started coaching here at TSU, your main motto was always crowns on. No matter how hard it gets, you always teach them to keep their crowns on no matter what. Based on the season you guys had and the win tonight, what example are you trying to build culturally here at TSU for not only the ladies on the team, but other ones coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, I mean, I think just you know, crowns on is a thing that's important. I had to keep my crown on tonight. You know, a couple of those turnovers tonight, I had to have myself crown on. So I think it's a mantra of just endurance. And I am a basketball coach, but I pray that I'm giving tools to succeed in life, right? Like, because a champion and a winner wins. Right? Like, at the end of the day, like, a winner is going to win. And so, like, you're trying to teach them that it's something inside of them that no mistake, no element can take away. Like, if you're a queen and you're born a queen, you're going to die a queen. Like, nobody can take that away from you. You don't need somebody to physically crown you all the time. Like, crown yourself. Like, figure it out. And I am, like, the hugest self, you know, auditor. Like, it is me, like, because I can fix me, right? And I want that to be our mentality as women. Like, put it on me, because if it's me, I can fix it. If it come down to a rebound, well, we can get it, right? Like, if it come down to a possession when it's a stop, not like, oh my God, well, they ran this and we didn't. Like, no, if it's me, then crown on, I got it. And I think that we have showcased really late in games that is who we are. If we come close into a game and we get blobs or slobs at the end of the game, like, we execute to perfection. And that started at Alabama State, you know, early on in this year. And she came to the huddle and she said, give me the ball pretty much. Like, what you doing? Okay. You earn my respect, because a player that you don't have to, like, if you want it, I'm going to get it for you. And she delivered. You know, and she delivered. And so it wasn't, she's like, it was the team being trusted that she stood up. And that's what you want. You want them to get in these moments and feel like, I can deliver, versus being out there shaking in their boots. Like, they laugh at me all the time. I don't know if y'all ever seen the movie Set It Off. Yes. You see that? I can't stand TT. I can't stand TT, right? I can't stand we wasn't ready. Hey, we got to get this money. Okay, we gotta get this money, all right? So we got that, we gotta perform. Ain't no running now, and because that's what life is about. So that's what I hope to teach in every element, that we gotta get this money.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. For real though, we gotta get this money.